Man, what's good, my family? You know what it is. This is your guy Dino back here with some lace 'em up sports talk show. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we got a serious show today. We got some awards to give off. We got some awards to shout out today. But you already know how we going. We are motivated to the fullest. On my left, I got the quotes for you. I got the quotes for the people out there working every single day, achieving their goals, checking off their marks. We send them their flowers. We see you working every day. We love you working. Don't act like you failing because somebody else says you failing, or you can't be this, or you can't do that. It's up to yourself to say you can't do this and do that. And if you fall, pick yourself back up and keep on going. And you see on my right, you know the topic of the day. We got some NFL. We got some NFL awards. We got some NFL. You see the plays right here. You see the great plays out these players. And we want to shout out both sides. The people out there grinding, trying to achieve their goals. And these players right here putting on the show for us. And we watch it every day. And we love seeing it. So we're going to clap that up. Woo! You know what it is. We got the GOAT of the day to start it off. And my GOAT of the day is Michael Jordan. You know, he got the shoes, he got the 6 rings, he got the 2 3-peats, he got the retirement and coming back and still winning a ring. He out there floating, he's Air Flight Jordan. You dig? He's an inspiration to everybody. I know at least everybody in this world, or at least half of this world, got Jordans in their closet. Don't matter if they beat up, don't matter if they brand new, you got a pair of Jordans. And he's an icon on the basketball court, in fashion, and we love to see it. And we're going to start with our first topic, and our first topic is NFL honors. We're going to shout out every single player, and we're going to call out their names, and we're going to tell them the reason why we love to see them get that award right there. You know what I'm saying? So first off, we're going to start with Patrick Mahomes. My homeboy. He's the real MVP of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? We got some stats right here for you. 5,220 yards this season. He got a 105 completion rating. 41 passing TDs. Come on, bro. You can't get no better than that. He's leading the league in all those stats. We knew he was going to be the MVP. It's no surprise. You see where he got his team. His team's in the Super Bowl right now. And potentially could get a ring against the Eagles. I got them picked as winning. And you see the reasons why he's out there. He dishing and dashing. He making magic happen with Bieniemy and Andy Reid. They playing backyard football out there. And Patrick Mahomes, he can make any throw in this league. Any throw you tell him to throw, he gonna make that throw. He gonna make it happen when it comes down to it on the line. And I feel like when it comes to the Super Bowl heading up this Sunday, because we're gonna get into all football this week, Patrick Mahomes gonna figure out a way to win. He gonna catch the deadline and he gonna get the ball to where it needs to be. And enough said about Patrick Mahomes, the great Patrick Mahomes. Now, you know what it is. We got the Walter Payton Award. You know we love it. And they awarded Dak Prescott with that. Dak Prescott got the Walter Payton Award. We see what he does for the community every single day. In Dallas, in his hometown. His season didn't want to finish out the way it did, but that's not the award for this. This is the award to giving back to your community and, you know what I'm saying, shaping young lives and changing families. And shout out to Dak Prescott giving back to the community, and we not tarnishing none of that. No matter if you like him or hate him. He got the Walter Payton Award. He giving back to the community. Shout out to Dak Prescott. And we got the Offensive Player of the Year. We got the runner-up for MVP. You know who it is. It's Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson. Best wide receiver in the league, hands down. He routing people up. He putting them on the ground. He leaving them shaking in their boots. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to pull up some stats for you. He has almost every game in 100 yards receiving. He got 1,809 yards receiving. That's the most in the NFL. 14.1 after the catch. 1,809 yards. 8 TDs. You see where his team got his team. He got his team in the playoffs almost single-handedly. He was getting the ball almost every play. If you stop him, that's how you beat the Vikings. That's how much, you know what I'm saying, Justin Jefferson was important to his team getting to that point, and that's why he was the runner-up for MVP. And as well deserved the Offensive Player of the Year, undoubtedly, is Justin Jefferson. He came in with this season saying he was going to be the best. He talked it in his mind. He knew it in his mind, but nobody believed him. He believed himself that he was going to be the best wide receiver in the league, and that's why he's the Offensive Player of the Year, and ain't nobody tarnishing that. Justin Jefferson, he deserves it. Then we're gonna switch over to some coaches. We got Brian Daboll, the ball man Daboll. You see, he got his team into the playoffs. He got the Giants, and he won a playoff game. He beat the Vikings. And that team was bad. The Giants were bad the last 3 seasons. So for him to come in, change that around, he got his team winning games down the stretch to get his team into the playoffs and to win a game in the playoffs. Not a lot of coaches can say that. Not a lot of coaches can turn the teams around that are really bad and make them a playoff winning team. Whatever you got to say, they won a playoff game. They beat the Vikings. They head to the next round. Yeah, they lost to the Eagles pretty bad, but they got it done against one of the best teams in the league, in the Vikings. So you got to shout out to Brian Daboll and changing the culture over there in New York, and it's a nice thing to see. Now going over to Comeback Player of the Year, you know who it is. You're not gonna write him off. He not writing back. If you writing him off, he ain't writing back. It's Geno Smith for the Comeback Player of the Year. And you got to give it to him because in the beginning parts of the season, he led his team to wins after wins after wins. We were expecting the Seahawks to be one of the worst teams in the league. Didn't nobody see the Seahawks into the playoffs? Nobody. We had him at least bottom 3. First overall pick, top 3 pick. But Geno Smith said, I'm not going for that. I know what type of QB I am. I got the experience. I done been in the league for some point in some time, team to team, time to time. I'm tired of getting tossed around. I'm tired of going to each team. Let me try to build my character here. Let me try to lead this team to some wins, and maybe we can get into a situation where we in the playoffs and maybe we can knock off a team. In the first half of the 49ers game, they looked like they had it under control. But they end up losing that game. But Geno Smith leads his team to the playoffs. And not a lot of teams makes the playoffs. Not a lot of teams make the playoffs. So to get your team to the playoffs, to lead your team and become the Comeback Player of the Year and get into the playoffs, it's a great thing to see. Nobody's going against this pick. Geno Smith deserves it. Shout out to Geno Smith. We send him his flowers. Then we going to the younger side of it. We're going to the younger side of it. We got the rookies. Who doesn't love the rookies? Now we got Defensive Rookie of the Year and Sauce Gardner. Sauce man. Drip it everywhere. Drip your sauce. You know he was locked down in the year. I say he was the best corner in 2022. I think he was the best corner. He was locking down everything, shutting down everything coming his way. We knew what he was when he was coming out of college. We knew he was locked down. We knew he was shut down. and he just came in the league like he knew what was going to happen, and he came and he shut down some top wide receivers. So he deserved that Defensive Rookie of the Year. Undoubtedly, not even close. Sauce Gardner with the year of his career. I'm seeing better years out of Sauce Gardner as the #1 lockdown corner in the league. To where we stop talking about Jalen Ramsey and Jair and stuff like that and Marshawn Lattimore. We started talking about Sauce and only Sauce. Because he's just locking down so bad. And I see that for Sauce. I see it in his eyes. I see it in my eyes looking at his NFL play, his football play, and he's gonna be the best corner in the league. We're gonna look at him in the best corner in the league next year, at least. I'm saying next year. Then we got Offensive Rookie. You know who we got? You know what they picked? Got Garrett Wilson. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson from the Jets. He got the Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, not Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And his route running is pure. His speed is out of this world. His hands is like glue. Garrett Wilson, we're gonna pull up some stats. He had the most receiving yards out of the rookies. His team at a point we're thinking Jets are making the playoffs. If they gotta actually, and you gotta think about that, they ain't got no quarterback. The Jets got no quarterback, and Garrett Wilson is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. You gotta tip your hat to the man. Shout out to that, because the Jets got no QB, and that's the reason why they in the situation they are, and why the reason is they didn't make the playoffs. That's why they didn't make the playoffs, because they didn't have no quarterback. And for him to get Offensive Rookie of the Year and with no quarterback, it's a great thing to see. And we see Garrett Wilson doing his thing. They get some more players over there. They actually get a quarterback who can dish it in diamond and get it to the right players. Maybe the Jets end up as one of them teams we talk about making the playoffs and maybe knocking off somebody with the defense they have, because they got young bucks. There ain't nothing but young bucks on the Jets. So they're going to be there for a minute. A lot of them going to be there for a minute. He got 1,103 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns. Can't go against it. Garrett Wilson, great reward for him. Hopefully he gets a better QB to distribute him the ball. We can talk about him as a top 10 receiver in this league. Who knows? Everybody has the potential to be. Doesn't matter who you think it is. Cooper Kupp was undrafted. We didn't think he was going to be #1 in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, Garrett Wilson, you know what it is. Keep banging that green over there in Jets and you know what I'm saying? Y'all eventually get it done. I'm sending flowers over to the Jets because they finally starting to get good. We starting to turn that up. I'm tired of seeing the Jets losing. They lose every year that bad, every season. Can we see some other teams start to lose bad, and then the Jets, you know what I'm saying, start to get good, because it's been the Jets each year being horribly bad. But they'll fix it up. They got a good coach over there. You know what I'm saying? Just find your QB. Find your QB. Then we're going to end it with the Defensive Player of the Year. And you know who it is. It's your boy, Bosa. Your boy, Nick Bosa. The slithering Bosa. He gets around the edge. He can beat any offensive tackle in the league, left, right, doesn't matter. Line him up in the middle. Nick Bosa's going to find a way to get a sack. He's going to find a way to get a sack. And you know, he brothers with Joey Bosa. You know what I'm saying? And you see what he be doing when he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? He's been injured a lot. You know what I'm saying? But when Joey's healthy, when Nick 100%, ain't nobody stopping him. Ain't no offensive lineman stopping him. Unless you got Trent or something like that. And not a lot of teams got Trent. So, Nick going out there to have a field day with y'all. At least 3 a game. Let's look at it. Let's look at the stats. Out of San Fran. You see where his team got. You see where his team got conference conference championship, lost in it. They lost their quarterback. You know what I'm saying? San Francisco having a bad time at quarterback too. They got to find that quarterback to stay healthy. They got a rookie. He goes down with a leg injury, out for the season. Brock Purdy gets hurt, 5 plays in. Jimmy Garoppolo snaps his ankle, dislocates his ankle. And now they're at Josh Johnson. They're at their emergency QB. So it's really just bad luck, and it's year after year after year they got quarterback injuries. Like at this point, the quarterback needs to just fall to the ground, stay out of harm's way. Don't even get close to a defensive player if you're on San Fran, because it's just bad luck for you. It's just bad luck for you. And going back to Nick Bosa, he ends the season with 18.5 sacks. 18.5 sacks, that's crazy. Man almost got 20 sacks. And that's the best in the league. You know he gets that reward. You see where his team ended up. His team ended up on the conference championship. So for him and his team to be that good and to have the quarterback problems, for him to get the amount of sacks and be a effect on a team to make them lose, because that defense was number 1 in the league. San Francisco's defense was number 1 in the league. Shout out to DeMeco Ryans. He's headed off to the Texans. Hopefully he can make that defense, you know what I'm saying, how it is in San Fran. But it's that talent in San Fran too. You're going to be a good defensive coordinator, but you need some talent on the defensive side. And Nick Bosa is a talent. He can get a sack. He can wake up in his sleep and get a sack. He can go out there and sleepwalk, and it's a sack. It's dominance out of Nick Bosa. And my team went against that team. It wasn't a good sight for Nick Bosa. It was not. That was not a good sight. He ends up getting 3 sacks on my team. Like I said, he can get 3 sacks when he wants to get 3 sacks. He's averaging like 2 sacks a game. Some of them games he had no sacks, but other than that, we got 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. He's averaging that a game, and sacks can kill your team. Shout out to the NFL honors. There was more awards out there, but I wasn't gonna get to all them. You know what I'm saying? Other rewards. You know what I'm saying? Pity pat rewards. But shout out to the other people who got other rewards. But you see it. Patrick Mahomes, that MVP. Dak Prescott and Walter Payton, Man of the Year. Dayball, that Coach of the Year. Geno, Comeback Player of the Year. Sauce at Defensive Rookie of the Year. Garrett at Offensive Rookie of the Year. And it ended off Nick Bosa to get Defensive Player of the Year. And that's a great list. We're not going to go against that list. Some say if Jalen Hurts stayed healthy, he could take that MVP. But even if Jalen Hurts ended it, Justin Jefferson was a close second. So who knows? But we're going to go off to the next segment. You see some of the new trades out there. We got Patrick Beverley going to the Wolves. We see that move. You see what he did with the Wolves. They had got a little run going. He played great on the Wolves. I think Patrick Beverley's, you know what I'm saying, role on the Lakers wasn't as special. It wasn't that good. It wasn't in a situation where they needed defense. I mean, they need defense, but it's like, you got to give me some type of offensive bucket. You're just out there in a liability on offense. It's a 5v4 every time Pat Bev stands on the court. And to put back Pat Bev out there with Westbrook, we're talking about a 3v5. So they got Pat Bev out of there, who is not doing much. Westbrook, who's starting to do something, but it just wasn't a fit at the beginning. Last year tarnished his career with the Lakers. Last year is always going to sit on Westbrook. So I just feel like that all of that sitting on Westbrook and not, you know what I'm saying, the fan base really liking him as much because they know the reason why they're losing is kind of Westbrook's fault. So by mutual agreement, they got Westbrook up out there. He's with the Jazz. Pat Bev's out there with the Wolves. They get Mo Bamba. They get Mo Bamba from Magic. Just you know what I'm saying? Just like a little three-way trade type situation. And right now, Lakers is winning the trades right now. It will go Suns, Lakers, Dallas. I'm gonna go that. Because Lakers, at least y'all making moves. Y'all getting people out of there that I'm seeing like, y'all really don't need him on your team. Pat Bev, we did not need to see Pat Bev on the Lakers. That was just a bad career with the Lakers for Pat Bev. Didn't look right. Didn't know his position for real. He's just out there yipping and yapping, getting fouls and getting texts. He getting memes. That's what Pat Bev's out there, getting memes. Because on the stat sheet, it's not looking that well for Pat Bev. I don't think he's averaging over 5 points. And to say you're a defensive player, how many steals are you getting? I'm not seeing a lot of steals. I'm not seeing a lot of blocks. I'm not seeing a lot of stops because you're a smaller player. And all you got to do is get a mismatch on Pat Bev. Sometimes he'll lock him down. He'll make it seem like he poking the ball, he locking somebody down. He has great plays in his career, so I'm not gonna tarnish Pat Bev. I'm not gonna slander his name because he's a great defensive player, one of the best defensive players I've seen at that small position. To be that small and be really, you know what I'm saying, feisty with the hands to get the ball poked. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to see. And Pat Bev, I hope he goes to the Timberwolves and he kind of leads them young boys over there. Leads them young boys, teaches some defensive stuff. Don't see him making the finals. Definitely not the finals, conference championship. Maybe not even the playoffs. I don't really know what their record is at this moment, but I'm thinking it's probably not that great. Because that team, they lost Karl Anthony Towns, injured for a little bit. And D'Angelo Russell is just not a good fit over there. That's the reason why they say we can ship them off back to the Lakers. If they're going to give us a 2027 first rounder, and in 2027, we're expecting the Lakers to be bad, we'll take that 2027. We'll get to that point anyways. The years will come. Long as you got your pick stacked up and you get a decent player in 2027, that would be great. That would be great for that team to get that for the Timberwolves. And the Lakers, y'all giving out all your picks, my guy. You're giving out your future. I still don't see y'all making the finals and winning anything. Not even the conference championship. Especially with Kevin Durant on the Suns now. Dallas is a little bit better than y'all. I think Dallas is better than y'all. I think the Nuggets you're not gonna just sniff at the Nuggets. They can get past y'all. The Clippers, they can get past y'all. It's a lot of teams that can knock off the Lakers still, and for y'all to give out all your picks, all your assets to get these players, and some of the players are really not even playing. Not to call out Anthony Davis, but shit, I'm going to just say the name. Anthony Davis is barely even playing for y'all now. He's injured every week. Not saying, you know what I'm saying, going on him about injuries because it's bad luck. It's just bad luck at this point, you know what I'm saying? He does have tweaks. I see it. He does have real injuries. We're seeing real injuries. It keeps happening over and over again. And now we're just missing time. We're wasting time. LeBron James is 38, 39. He's in his 20th season. We only got so much of greatness. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this week. And it's it's like, don't give up everything, you know what I'm saying, just to get players that might not do nothing for you. I see D'Angelo Russell coming in, playing better than Russell Westbrook. I would say that. I think he would play better than Russell Westbrook, because D'Angelo Russell can actually shoot the ball. Westbrook is like one of the worst three-pointers in the league, and y'all want him to shoot the ball more than what his career says. And he's just missing threes, and he just keeps going down in the rankings on threes, and he's like bottom. He's like at the bottom with three-pointers. He done got better from last year, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And he takes shots that he doesn't need to take. He takes moments that he doesn't need to take. And that's why Kevin Durant had to move on from him. That's why it's a lot of teams that didn't trade Westbrook to this point. He didn't got traded like 4 to 5 times at this point. What, he left OKC. He went what? Wizards, Lakers, Jazz. He's been on a couple teams. So the narrative is, yes, you're a great player. You done got triple doubles and whatnot, but there's no way we can win with you, Russell Westbrook. We can't get to a championship with you. That's what history is saying. That's what it is. Not all great players will win a ring, because Russell Westbrook was a great player. One of the most dominant point guards in this era. At a point, the best point guard in this era. He has an MVP. Westbrook has an MVP. So we know the type of talent that Westbrook that was at a point. But they had to get out of there. There was no shooting. Barely any defense out of Westbrook and Pat Bev. So moving on from them to bring in Mo Bamba, who's the good center. They moved away Thomas Bryant. You know, I don't think he was doing that bad. Not what I seen on Wednesday. In the last game they played, you know what I'm saying? I think Thomas Bryant was still a decent player, but Mo Bamba, we can say that he's a better player than Thomas Bryant. So they are getting better. At least I see you doing something, Lakers. At least I see it. At least I see you trying to get better. Because y'all been bad the last season, and up to this season, y'all are at like 13 in the West. Y'all are not doing good. Y'all are bad. And thank y'all. We're going to end with that. I appreciate y'all for watching. Whoever's watching to this point, I'm going to keep making these videos. I'm going to keep trying to get better and better each and every day. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I know I'm not going to be the greatest sports talk show right now or the greatest speaker on YouTube, but I see myself getting better and better each day to get to the point where, you know, I can see where I see myself at in sports talking and talking on YouTube. And thank y'all, for real. God bless.